Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, in this video we will have our discussion on some of the important dates in this year 2026 designed for your rising sign when you can expect some positivity in your life. See friends, the way I'm approaching this yearly analysis for all the rising signs is that in the previous video we already have had discussion that how the transit of the karmic and the slow moving planets is going to be influencing you this year, like which planet is going to be your as per the panchang, which planet is getting the designation of the king raja and which planet is becoming the minister like mantri this year. So after all of that, now in this video we will focus on certain specific dates and months. Like let's say for example, if you are a kind of person who wants to plan everything in advance and that is how you want to start the new year, that okay, in this month I can plan to buy a new car, in this month I can think about filing for immigration, any visa related concern, decorating my house, organizing some event in my family, or initiating the mortgage process. So this video will give you this insight that in which all specific months and the dates there is going to be some auspicious yoga which your Lagan will experience. So okay friends, now we will start our discussion. Just a quick revision of the results which the slow moving planets are going to be bringing in your life. So when we talk about from the Jupiter's point of view, so friends, I would say that you are actually very fortunate, very lucky, because Jupiter, which in itself is the planet of blessing, lucky break, divine grace, is going to be transiting from your 10th house, 11th house and the 12th house. So that in itself means that in this period of time, whatever development which will happen in your life, especially in your professional sphere, the kind of gains which will happen in your life, the new direction which your life will take. So don't you get mistaken that it was your hard work, it was your planning, it happened. No. All of that is happening in your life because of the blessing and the grace, and I can assure you this year can mark some new beginnings in your life. Some auspicious new chapter in your life can begin in this year. And again friends, like when Jupiter will transit to your 11th house, and this is kind of a placement where we say that some auspicious events happen in the life. Like this could be the childbirth, marriage in the family, there is a vibe and environment of festivity and celebration, like when the whole family get together and they all are in a happy gala mood of celebration. So that is what Jupiter is capable of. And yes friends, when Jupiter will transit to the 12th house, so as you can see that Jupiter in your case is your 7th lord and the 4th lord. So that is going to be the time when you can foresee success coming into you in the foreign land. Or this could be a case that you are a very spiritually oriented person, you want to dive deep into the sadhana, meditation, spirituality, discovering your purpose, soul purpose. You want to move to a foreign land, enroll to any ashram and get that divine learning through the Guru Shishya Parampara. So all of that potential is there. See, one thing is for sure that majority of the time Jupiter is going to be the 10th house and the 11th house, and both of these houses govern our public image, our gains. Now talking about from Saturn's point of view, so friends, Saturn is transiting in your 7th house. It will not move sign, but it is going to be majorly transiting in the Uttar Bhadrapada nakshatra, and even in the original Kalpurush Kundli, Saturn in the 7th house is considered as very strong. It gives you groundedness, it gives you stability, you get accepted in the eyes of the masses, in the eyes of the public, and some landmark development, laying foundation to big ambition, big dreams in the business generally happens whenever Saturn is transiting from the 7th house. And friends, I can assure you that in all the three major pillars being represented by the 7th house, your business, your marital life, or your public image, your public dealing in short, in this area, if you are seeking any guidance, any clarity, so you will act with maturity, and those people will guide you in this path who are very practical, mature, very wise. That I can assure you. Now talking about Rahu and Ketu, I always say that Rahu and Ketu represents that part of destiny which is fixed. This is that prarabdh which you have to endure, those karmas which you have to endure. Now friends, in your case, like Rahu and Ketu are transiting in a perfect alignment. Rahu in the 6th house is considered as very strong, it is very ambitious, it is very competitive, and Ketu in the 12th house, omens support you. So one thing is for sure that friends, in your case in this year, whatever major development is happening, omens are actually very supportive for you. Like you are not a victim of omens, I can assure you. Jupiter in the 10th, like Ketu in the 12th, what else do you need? So yes, this is what the synopsis or picture of the all the slow moving planets is, which we already have had our discussion in the last video. Now we will look at some important dates when planets are going to be forming some auspicious yoga for you. So friends, the very first thing is that we always have to give attention to the start of the year. Like even if you follow, like I see many Vedic astrologers based on the Hindu New Year, like which is the Chaitra Shukla Pratipada, right on the first day of that new year, they see the planetary alignments, and based on that they make predictions. Some astrologers make the prediction on the basis of the Mesh Sankranti, like sun transited in the Aries, and based on that they give prediction. Same is the way as per the English calendar, the first day holds some weightage. Like you know, the way on January 1st the planets are going to be aligned, it can actually give you a glimpse based on your rising sign what to expect. So friends, in your case, you are definitely going to have a fortunate start of the year because Sun, Mars, your ascendant lord Mercury, Venus, they all are going to be concentrated in your 4th house. So that in itself tells about that yes, there is going to be a clear vision for your tangible and material gains in this year. Now friends, now you can start just marking the dates. On January 16th, Mars will transit to the Capricorn, which happened to be your like 5th house, and it is going to get exalted over there and get conjunct with Sun and Venus. So now friends, beyond any doubt, like Mars is not a very good planet for you based on your chart, but just because trine houses, the Lakshmi Sthana, are very important houses. And see, I generally say that what I have seen, people who generally struggle with the sexuality, problem with sexuality, problem with loans, problem with house or relationship with the siblings, brothers and all, being very injury prone, accident prone, all of that is Mars. So if Mars is not working well, that means the person might struggle in all these areas. Like in some area less, some area more, but more or less like this. So now friends, what is happening is that if that planet is getting exalted in the Lakshmi Sthana, Trikona Sthan, so that means in all these areas you will have that edge, power, competitive edge. So whether you are a student, you have to write any competitive exam, it is very supportive for you. You are an athlete, you have to participate in any competitive event, it is going to be a very supportive time for you. And we generally say that because if 5th house is so empowered, so like anything to do with the army, military, strong leadership kind of concerns, you are in engineering, tech kind of roles, you are like entrepreneur, any of the concerns of like working on very secretive intel, or you are in need of some sponsorship, funding and all. So in all these avenues, it is going to be a very supportive time. So again friends, it's not only that the Mars is getting exalted, your 3rd lord, your like 8th lord is getting exalted, but also because of its conjunction with the Sun, which happened to be your 12th lord, and its conjunction with the Venus. So I mean to say, it's a typical combination where if you are in dire need of any grants, any loan, any sponsorship, any funding, so stars will support you in this period of time. This date is going to be very important for you in any kind of competitive kind of situation. So that is January 16th. Now friends, the next date, next few dates which you can mark is, first is March 2nd. So on March 2nd, Venus will get exalted. Now friends, in your case, beyond any doubt, Venus is your 9th lord. the lord of your bhagyasthana. Venus in your case is your second lord, the lord of your finances, your virtues, your values. And Venus exalts for your chart in the 7th house. So that means March 2nd is going to be very supportive time for the matrimonial matters, for the financial matters, or like, you know, even if you want to advertise, market your brand, do some or plan some product launch, product release around this area. So for marriage, for business, and especially when it is Venus, so where there is a lot of glitter and the glamour is involved, so it is going to be very supportive for that. So March, the month of the March is very supportive for you, and especially the March 2nd for the finances, love, attraction, luxury and all. Now friends, the next date in the month of the March is March 11th. On March 11th, Jupiter will become direct in your 10th house. So friends, see, the thing is, when we talk about retrograde planets, they are more inclined towards you know, working on the past theme, past promise, past kind of, you know, events in the life. But just because when Jupiter will turn direct, and see, this direct motion of the planet Jupiter will become very important, because first of all, it is in a atichari, fast motion. And second thing is, there is a term in like Vedic Jyotish we call as the Ucharohi. Because when a planet is going towards its position of exaltation, it is very happy, it is very driven, very motivated, very passionate. And where it is heading towards, from the house of the career to the house of the gains. So that means things will trigger, will move with a rapid pace in this department. And again friends, in your case, because Jupiter is your 4th lord and the 7th lord as well, so that means it might be going towards fulfilling your wish for any business goal, ambition you have for your business, or any aspiration you have for your family life, or this could be for like property investment, buying a property and all. So it is going to be supportive time for you. So the month of March, two important Guru Tulya planet like Jupiter and the Venus. Venus is also the teacher, preceptor of the Daityas and all. So it is very supportive for you. So the month of March 2nd and March 11th, two significant dates. Now friends, come April, and on April 2nd, Mars will transit to your 7th house. So once it will transit over there, it is going to get conjunct with the planet Saturn and with Sun over there. See now friends, you will see that a lot of the competitive heated energy is being generated in the 7th house of yours. It's like it's any international meet happening, and Russian president, American president, North Korea's leader and Iranian head, they all are like contradictory forces are all together in one room. So I mean to say, but it is very significant, especially for in the cases of the lawsuit related situation, success in the lawsuit. Again friends, for you, like for the Virgo rising, like Saturn is a very important planet for you. Mars, we cannot undermine the role of the planet Mars, because Mars gives you power and courage for the hardship, and Sun becomes your 12th lord. So that means any of the concerns of the hardship and lawsuit, this is going to be a very empowering time for you to fight back, to like withstand any competitive kind of situation. So because of that, I included this date as well. So be mindful, on April 2nd, Mars's entry in the 7th house will trigger a storm of events which will benefit many people if you are in that realm, if you are in that field. Now friends, the next date which you have to mark in the calendar is April 19th. So on April 19th, Venus will get very strengthened in the Taurus sign. So friends, the Taurus sign happened to be your 9th house, and in the 9th house, if the house lord, the Bhagyasthana lord is getting empowered, it's getting strengthened over there. So that means it is going to be a very good time when blessings will help in manifestation, because that is going to be the time when Jupiter is still going to be there in your 10th house. So two gurus are in a good placement, like Venus where luck is supportive, and Jupiter is in a kind of a progressive motion in the 10th house, giving you access to many opportunities. So that is one kind of important yoga. And obviously because Venus is your second and the second lord as well. So many financial opportunities. Now friends, the next date which you have to mark in the calendar is June 1st. So on June 1st, Jupiter will get exalted. It will enter in your 11th house. So I'm very much sure friends that even in the year 2025, from October 19th till December 5th, whatever you would have experienced, whatever development which has happened in your life, you will see a extended, magnified version of that. And again friends, I do not know how strong and firm believer you are of luck, but I believe in that. Grace, power of the blessing, power of the grace, being at the right time, at the right hour. So blessing plays a very important role, and this is the only thing which will drive and push things for you, I can assure you. So with Jupiter's exaltation state on June 1st, new doors will open for finances and for auspicious events in the life. Now friends, after that, the next date which you have to mark in the calendar is July 16th. So on July 16th, Jupiter and the Sun conjunction will happen in your 11th house. So friends, we know this thing that if this conjunction is taking place, it is just telling about that luck will support you. See, whomsoever goes to the Guru, when Guru is in its enlightened state, purest of the dignity, so that in itself tells about that. See, look at it in this way. We all have done that when we were kids, right? That we used to look for the right time when the dad is in a good mood, our father is in a good mood, to ask for that wish, that chocolate, that candy, or that thing which we want from our dad. Same is the way, imagine this situation. See, if Jupiter is exalted in a good mood, let's say for example in 9th house, it will just give you some piece of wisdom and okay, go your way. If it is in the 5th house, it might again give you something, a piece of wisdom, knowledge and all. But 11th house is the house of the wish fulfillment. So that means it's not only that Guru is happy, but Guru is in a state, in a mood to fulfill your wish as well. And right at that time, if Sun, your 12th lord, is getting conjunct with it, so that also tells about that there could be a solution which you will be able to figure out for any of the hidden problems, health concerns, lawsuit related situation problems and all. So it is going to be a good yoga for that, finding a solution and enhancement of your reputation, meeting very prominent, very famous, successful people. That is how this yoga is going to work for you. So that will happen on July 16th when Sun and Jupiter will conjunct in your 11th house, and this is going to be the time of success in the foreign land and removal of the lawsuit. Now friends, the next date which you have to be mindful of is, you can mark in your calendar, is September 18th. On September 18th, Mars will also enter in the 11th house. It will get debilitated because of being in the Cancer sign, but at the same time it is debilitation is getting cancelled because Jupiter is also placed over there and it is exalted. So that also tells about that. Like see, this Neej Bhang Raj Yoga will work in your favor, especially because Guru is in a purest essence and Mars is at its weakest, and Mars in your case carries the energy of the 3rd house and the 8th house. So that also tells about any dispute you are having with the brothers, with the siblings, you might get a solution for that. You have reached a deadlock kind of situation in the life. Your life is not moving in any direction. There is no progress, there is no growth. So over there as well, some solution will come. Any issue with the dispute, lawsuit, any spirit problem, which is the typical 8th house. So any joint resources related problem, your insurance money, your retirement money is struck. So there will be clarity with this surrender of the Mars to the Guru in the 11th house. Now friends, after that, on October 31st, Jupiter will transit to the Leo sign in your 12th house. So again friends, this is going to be the time when you will experience that this could be a case that the partner is acting very religious, or this could be the time that you will get a chance for a relocation or shift in the residence, or heightened interest in meditation, spirituality, devotional work, many pilgrimages, many travels, and very mystical kind of experiences, psychic awareness, like seeing things in the dream, like starting to see the angel numbers. All of that will start happening in your case. And finally friends, on December 5th, the nodal shift will happen. Rahu Ketu will shift signs. So Rahu Ketu, like which has been in a perfect alignment right now, they will shift where Ketu will enter in your 11th house. Now again friends, I always say this thing, Ketu's transit in the 11th house is considered as very strong, especially, see, if your chart, if I were to talk about purely from the astrological terminologies, if you are like a house of the spiritual merits, divisional charts of the spiritual merits like D9 chart, D12 chart, D20 chart, D60 chart, if these charts verify this claim that your soul comes from the past life with some very good deeds done, very spiritual merits you have in your account, spiritual account, so then Ketu give rewards like anything. Ketu's placement in the 11th house is like a hoisted flag with many return, many rewards, recognition, you being a pioneer in the peak of your success, and you become like, where the company cannot function without you. So you are that much required and important. This is what Ketu grants. It somehow, you might see, for example, on and off, we even come across those news in astrology circles as well, that okay, that astrologer, he has suddenly come up with that predictive technique which he is teaching, and everyone is running towards him. So that's what happens when Ketu goes to the 11th house. Suddenly you are like in demand in the market for something which is very exclusive to you. And when Rahu will move to your 5th house, so you see, Rahu in the 5th house, yeah, it is a typical ingredient of overthinking, but again, 5th house is the mind, and Rahu over here start influencing the mind, the thought process, and because it's in the Capricorn, so for the material success and being very materialistic and all, it's going to be supportive sign. So yes friends, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. Once again, thanks a lot for watching this video, and for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, you know what you have to do. Thanks a lot.